powerful gospel. Jesus didn't seem like he was in a particularly good mood, but he gave us some wonderful teachings, and I'm asking us to find 3 words that kind of sum up what he said. It was listen, respect, and serve. That is our challenge and our job description as disciples of Jesus. And the beauty of the gospel is that he gives us examples of this relationship, of this appropriate for each other, that none of us are underdogs or overdogs, but we are eye-to-eye brothers and sisters. What qualities that, the question is, can I demonstrate to truly practice this decision to be a disciple of Jesus? First of all, it's not being noisy, arrogant, and it's having an attitude of listening, respect, and service. Attitude is of an airplane shows where the airplane is going. And you have in you an attitude which is where you are going in life. And as Christians, we want to have the attitude of listening, respect, and service. The opposite of the silence is noisy. And the great art of, the tough art of putting the inner chatter that goes on. I don't know about you, but I've got chatter all the time, inside, day, night, and wherever. I have all sorts of things going in, and it's getting in charge of that, to silence that inner chatter so I can be present to other people. And I'm actually present to people, not just to my own way of looking at things. And it means a suspension of judgments. It means retraining the lizard mind, which sees everything in terms of opposites, dualistic, but it opens the beautiful eye of faith. It's far from the eye of that appearance is all. That's in society. You walk out this door and appearance is all. And one of the things we say in here, that it's not just appearance, it's what's really going on in the heart, in the inner person. We know that every outcome is absolutely dependent upon the choices that we make. And silence demands a journey of the heart away from the superficial ego. If one is going to have good outcome, it means beginning in your heart in silence and listening and trusting that God will give you what you need to do his love and his work in the world. Compassion and mercy will flourish. Now, this morning, someone ran away with my computer, which I've thankfully replaced, thank God. But I don't have any signs here, but we do have our wonderful signs up here. And so I would invite you to say with me, I embrace an attitude of silent listening. Let's try that. I embrace an attitude of silent listening. Secondly, we move far from an arrogant attitude to an attitude of respect. Paul Tillich says the first duty of love is to listen. We can't listen if there is no respect. Respect is an art which enables reframing a problem, offering a fresh set of eyes that can make all the difference in the world. The etymology of respect is respect, relook. That's what respect means. You look beyond your own stuff and really look at the heart of the person not necessarily his behavior. Behavior can be off the wall, but the person always is a child of God, and respecting is treating each person as a child of God. Listening to understanding means standing. Understanding is standing under, not over. Means looking at life from a bigger perspective rather than the ant's view, which we all have. Being able to look at the forest as well as the trees. With respect, I abandon the need to control people and situations. We have this need we don't feel important unless we're controlling. Well, part of respecting is letting go of the need to control and just being present, listening. Respecting is aided by the art of reversing roles with a person, walking in their shoes. That's part of respect, is you're able to actually get out of your own body and self and reverse roles with the person you're talking. You may not like them particularly or believe their behavior, but you reverse roles with them to see where they're coming from. And that will give you insight and strength to say intelligent, helpful, appropriate things with the person. Walking in their shoes, not following there's a trap which psychologists call projective identification, and that we all do this. We project our own identity into other people. Well, that's ridiculous. Every person is unique and has very different, positive, negative, whatever, but we don't project ourselves into them. If I were you, this is what I would need. Therefore, I make a decision what is best for you. One of my mottos is people who make choices about other people's lives generally make the wrong choices. So we try not to stand back, be empathetic, listen to the character of the person or situation. Shakespeare said, love is not love, which alters when alteration finds. Respect plays an important part in the ministry to the sick. We all encounter people who are experiencing sickness, and instead of projecting our own ideas of what that sickness means to the person, you close your mouth, open your eyes and ears, and hear what they are actually experiencing and want, and not projecting onto them. Listen, it enables me to understand. The bell that is cracked still can ring. So forget your perfect offering. Every bell has a crack. That's why the light gets in. So, if you'd like to say after me, I embrace an attitude of respect for others. I embrace an attitude of respect for others. And partly now that we've listened and we respect, then we can serve. We're not just takers. We're all takers, and it's okay to be a taker, but it's not just who you are. You are at heart a giver, a server in life for your brothers and sisters. We're not always, sometimes that doesn't mean fixing problems. It has to do with an appropriate presence that makes a difference. It's the practical side of love. I would not even worry about how one is going to serve if you really have an attitude of service. Jimmy Carter said, I think articulated this when he said, the spirit of Jesus is to call to servanthood and thus to happiness. I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. I'm free to choose what that something is, and the something I've chosen is my faith. Now, my faith goes beyond theology and religion and requires considerable work and effort. My faith demands, and this is not optional, my faith demands that I can do whatever I can, wherever I can, whenever I can, as long as I can, with whatever I have to actually make a difference. You see, there are 8 billion people on the world, and guess what? You and I are not going to change it by ourselves. But we do have one person who's in charge, and that is you. And you have the ability to make choices which will make, in the long term, a change in the world. And my motto that I really try and live by is, I do the right thing, and I leave outcomes to God. You know, you don't get anxious about, everything, as long as you are doing in your life what you can do to make a difference, to serve, to respect, to listen to people. Comparisons are the enemy of service and understanding, and we're constantly aware of comparing ourselves with others. Service enables me to find the center of my life in my relationship with the gracious mystery of God. Focusing on external objects by comparing has a tendency to de-skill me, making me dependent and passive. Practicing selfless service is a practical antidote to the bad habit of comparing. If you'd like to say after me, I embrace an attitude of service on behalf of others. I embrace an attitude of service on behalf of others. There's your gospel, there it is. Listen, respect, serve. It provides a framework for successful discipleship that will not de-skill or make you dependent and passive. Practicing the service is an antidote for the habit of comparing. Now, these attitudes of silence, respect, and service provide a framework for a successful life. A while ago, what would Jesus do? We would always say, what would Jesus do? Which is good. I believe that Jesus not only teaches these attitudes of service, respect, and listening, but he models them for us. John Henry Newman, a great guy who started campus ministry, said this, that I think it applies to me, and I would share it with you. God has created me to do some definite service. Some work has been entrusted to me which has not been given to another. I have my mission. I may not know it completely in this life, but I will be told it in the next. I have a part in a great work. I am a link in a chain. I have a bond of connection between persons. He has not created me for nothing. So we take from the gospel today, listen, respect, and serve, and we will be assured of our discipleship of Jesus.